Hello there! Have you ever made a promise with someone? I'm sure you have. But did you keep it? Today, I will tell you a story from which you will learn to always keep your promise. Once upon a time, on the banks of a great river in the north of Germany, there was a town called Hamelin. The citizens of Hamelin were honest folks. They lived in their grey stone house. And as time goes by, the city grew very rich. But one day, an extraordinary thing happened to disrupt the peace. Well, Hamelin, just like any other cities, had always had rats. But it was never a danger for them. Why? Because the cats had always do their job to hunt the rats. But one day, all the rats began to multiply, and in the end, a black sea of rats swarmed over the whole town. They attacked the barns and storehouses, and they gnawed at everything. Wood, clothes. The only thing they didn't eat was metal. Everyone in the town got so confused on how to get rid of all these rats. What we need is an army of cats, said one person. But all the cats were dead. Well, we'll put down the poison food then. But most of the food were already gone, and even poison, it didn't work anymore. It just can't be done without the help, said the mayor sadly. And just then, there was a knock on the door. Who could that be? And to their surprise, a man with bright colored clothes barged in and said, "I've freed other town from beetles and bards. For 1,000 florins, I'll get rid of all the rats," he said. 1,000 florins, exclaimed the mayor. "We will give you 50,000 if you succeed." Hearing that, the man said, "Well, it's late now, but I promise there won't be any rats left in Hamelin by the dawn." The sun was still below the horizon when the sound of a strange piping can be heard down the streets of Hamelin. And just like magic, all the rats flocked out and they scampered from every houses, every doors, every gutters. They followed the piper. The piper kept playing as he marched through the street and the forest until he came down into a deep river. And because all the rats kept following him, every rat began to drown and swept away by the river. And just like that, by the time sun was high in the sky, there was not a single rat left in Hamelin. Everyone was in a great delight until it's time for the piper to claim his payment. 50,000 florins, exclaimed the councillors. That is way over the budget. They get angry. Can you at least give me 1,000 florins? Said the piper sadly. And just then, the mayor, who promised the piper to pay him 50,000 florins, said, "The rats are all dead now. And what you did, honestly, It didn't even worth a florins. Now, be satisfied just with 50 florins and get out of my sight. Hearing that, the piper's eyes raged with anger, and he threatened everyone in the room. You will bitterly regret ever breaking the promise, he said. Everyone shivered with the goosebump, but the mayor, he said, well, we have saved 50,000 florins. Ha ha ha. He laughed heavily. However, the joy won't last long because that night, once again, a strange sound of piping could be heard, wafting in the street of Hamelin. But now, strangely, the children had heard the voice, and just like magic, they began to follow the piper as he marched through the streets, out of the towns, across the river, until he came down in front of a big cave. And he kept playing as the children, one by one, get in, and as the last child came into the cave, just then the door creaked shut into the darkness. And every child is in the cave, except one poor, a crippled child that can't keep up as fast as their friends. And he left alone and tell all the citizens of Hamelin what happened. And no matter what, the cave will never open and the children were never seen again. Ever since that event, no one in Hamelin ever dared to break their promise ever again. Thank you.